Hello YouTube, welcome back to KLA Sports. I'm your host Kyle Alexander, and today we're going to be doing a new video. This is going to be first. We're going to be doing this every year. May even do this with my other team, but today we are going to be doing a Ravens mock off season. Just some moves on what I think they should do and what they might do. Now, Ravens are currently had 14-2 season, best record in the league, best team in the AFC. Had the first seed, and their season was brought short due to Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans or at their hands, and now everybody's looking at the pressures on them, like what they do next, like what's going to happen, what's the future of the team, etc. Which I feel is. I just feel they shouldn't just be like, oh, like jumping to conclusions like that. But yeah, honestly, coming from a Ravens fan, this wasn't even the worst loss they had. Now it was the most disappointing, but I wouldn't even say this is the worst loss. But you know, hey man, stuff happens. It's the playoffs. Anything can happen. The regular season doesn't matter. But with that being said, we're gonna hop right into this video. Now there are 4 different categories in this video. Is cuts. We're gonna talk about players that they should cut and how much money they'll get. You got re-signs, players, in-house free agents that they should bring back, and some different contracts I think they should give out. Free agents, some different players that they can get in free agency, what the price might be, and how that'll affect the cap space. And then the draft, we're going to discuss their draft picks and some different players that they could get at positions of need. So we're going to hop right into cuts. First player the Ravens should cut, and I know they will because it's been the big one, is Tony Jefferson, strong safety. Mainly because Tony Jefferson was injured this year, and Chuck Clark has been playing so much better this year. Chuck Clark's having a breakout season. He can get tackles. He's playing great in the box. He has some moments there and like here and there, but he's younger. He's younger. He's cheaper. He's a great player, or not great, but he's getting there. He's about to be a good player. And the Ravens will gain $7 million when they if they cut him, so that's gonna happen. That's just been like the big move that everybody's talking about, like the main move that everybody knows is gonna happen. Tony Jefferson even said it himself. Next up, we're gonna stay in the secondary. I was gonna head over to cornerback Brandon Carr. Carr, he's been okay, reliable here and there, but at the same time, he's just been a liability. He's given up a lot of big plays, a lot of missed tackles. He's just older in age. He's up there. The Ravens gained $6 million if they cut him. So I will honestly do that. Plus we're good with the secondary. So yeah, I would just cut Brandon Carr, gain that $6 million. He's been a liability. That's one of the bigger cap hits that we need to cut. Next up, going to the O line, we're gonna have James Hurst. He's a tackle. He hasn't really been doing much, and he's making a lot of money to not really be doing much. He's a backup player, but we have our tackles set, and Ravens probably gonna be looking at O line. And if we cut him, we get $2.7 million. So that's good. And honestly, yeah, Ravens should just cut him. Next up, we have Tyus Bowser, the young edge rusher from Houston. Yeah, he played college football in Houston. Hasn't really been doing much. Hasn't amounted to much. I get he's still young, but we just drafted Jalen Ferguson. I think we still have Tim Williams. I'm not sure, but he just drafted Jalen Ferguson. He's been playing pretty decent there, and yeah, he's more of a developmental player than Tyus Bowser. I feel he has more potential. After Ravens cut Bowser, they'll gain $1.2 million in cap space, and that will bring the Ravens cap space to $50.7 million. So that is it for the cuts. There's 4 cuts, and all right. Next, we're gonna go to other category. Next category, the in-house free agents, the re-signings. First up, if you're a Ravens fan, not even Ravens fan, if you just watch football, you know that Matt Judon is the biggest priority for the Ravens. They're good with their coordinators. They know every team has hired a head coach. Matt Judon is the biggest priority. Now, I use Over the Cap and Spot Track to get the figures and stuff. Matt Judon, his projected market value would be around 16.3 million, like 16 million a year. It was like 16 or 16.3. I can't remember, but I know it was at least 16 million. So a contract that I drew up was 4 years, 67 million. Yeah, that's a lot, but that's the price you pay when you have a good player. And Judon, he's been our only good pass rusher this year. We haven't really had much of a pass rush unless on blitzes. And Judon must bring him back. All right, next up, we're gonna go over to running back as we have to re-sign Gus Edwards. You're probably thinking, yeah, we have Mark Ingram, Justice Hill, but Gus Edwards, he's a young player. He's been great in this complimentary role. And this is just a little contract I drew up. 3 years, 10.3 million. It's not that expensive for Gus Edwards. Definitely deserves it. And yeah, he fits this Ravens offense. He's a great piece in that backfield, and Ravens definitely could use him. Definitely need him. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Gus Edwards. All right, we're gonna head back to the defensive side. As next player is on the D line is Michael Pierce. He's been great on the D line. He doesn't really get sacks. You run a 3-4, but he doesn't really get sacks. He's more of a run stuffer, and he's been phenomenal in this run stuffing role. He's been great. I know people are probably gonna say, "What about Derrick Henry?" That's just Derrick Henry being Derrick Henry. But Michael Pierce, he's been a great and underrated run stuffer in the league, and his projected market value was around $4 million a year. So I just gave him a contract, 3 years, 12.6 million. I feel like that's a good contract for him, and yeah, I feel he would definitely accept that to stay with the Ravens. Then our last player is DeAnthony Thomas. Ravens need a kick returner. I don't know. I just really thought like where else they would get kick returner from, so I just figured just re-sign DeAnthony Thomas. This is just 1 year, 820K. 820,000, not that much. Just bring him back on a 1 year deal. He's been a pretty good, or he's been a alright returner. No, he's been pretty good, but Ravens don't really have a returner yet, and I would just re-sign him on a 1 year deal. So that is it for the in-house free agents, the re-signings. Let's go over to the next category in the free agents. Now, this has been the big one. He's been linked to coming to the Ravens since the trade deadline of this past year, and that is Yannick Ngakoue, the pass rusher from Jacksonville. Now his projected market value was around 17 million a year. That's pretty expensive. That's too expensive for the Ravens if they want to have him and Judon. But I mean, I would try it. Just bring him in, see what happens. And Ngakoue, he's been an exceptional pass rusher, underrated too. I believe he's only 23, 24. He recorded 8 sacks this year, and he's a defensive end, but he can definitely play outside linebackers. He has the body for it. He has the skills for it too. So the contract I drew up for Ngakoue was 3 years, 47 million, and that will put the Ravens cap space, including the re-signings, that will put the Ravens cap space at $9 million for this year. Not a lot of money in terms of sports, but Ravens got some money to spend. Maybe they throw this offer at Ngakoue or a better deal, or a more affordable deal that Ngakoue would take. I don't know. I just figured that could be a choice. Next up, we're going to Nate Kwiatkowski of the Chicago Bears. He is a middle linebacker. Ravens need linebackers. Kwiatkowski, he's been good in his role in Chicago, and he's been a backup with Roquan Smith and Danny Trevathan. I do feel that Chicago might re-sign him, or he might. I know Chicago's going to offer him a deal because Danny Trevathan he's a free agent too, but he's on the older side. But Kwiatkowski, he's a good linebacker. He's a great tackler. He can blitz too, and that Ravens like to blitz. And Kwiatkowski, he's not bad in coverage, and I feel he would definitely be an upgrade over what we have. So his projected market value was around like 5 million a year. I think that was like yeah, it was around 5 million a year. So my offer for him was 4 years, $23 million, and that would bring the Ravens cap space to 18.9 million if they sign just Kwiatkowski to that deal. And honestly, if I'm the Ravens, I would go for it. Need a linebacker. Not that many elite middle linebackers or coverage linebackers in this draft. Now, there's always like, oh, they could become, there may be some diamonds in the rough, but as of now, there's only Isaiah Simmons. He's going top five. He's going top 10, top five. Kenneth Murray's a second rounder. Troy Dye's like late first, second rounder. That's pretty much it. So Kwiatkowski would definitely be a good signing for the Ravens. And next up, last signing, there's a last player I thought the Ravens could go after. It's Jadeveon Clowney. Now, this something just came out like yesterday. Jadeveon Clowney said that he doesn't care about the money. Well, everybody wants to make money, but he's saying he's not gonna take basically, he's just saying like he doesn't want to take a lot of money. He doesn't care about making a lot of money. He just wants to go to a contender. Again, like I said, still wants to get paid. But now, the only problem with that is Seattle. They're still a contender, so he could re-sign there. But Clowney, he's been a good pass rusher. He's a great run stopper, and he hasn't been that great of a pass rusher, but he's still been exceptional. He's still been good. He's still been good. It's not like he's terrible. But he's definitely a great run stuffer. And if Ravens sign, I'll put him back in that 3-4 outside linebacker role where I feel he might be better. This was his first year as DN, only recorded 3 sacks. But yeah, Clowney, I could see him saying, "All right, Ravens are a contender. I like this defense. Make it better. We can make it better with me going here." I could see Clowney saying that. And the contract I drew up for Clowney is 3 years, $33 million, and that would bring the Ravens cap space to 13.7 million. So yeah, those are just 3 free agents I thought of. I thought the Ravens could go after. Kwiatkowski would be the best in terms of affordability and how much cap space we have left. But yeah, these are just some, just some players. And Ngakwe, I feel he might take a cheaper deal. Yeah, it all depends. So yeah, that's it for the free agents. Now for the last portion of the offseason, the NFL draft. Their Ravens have the 28th overall pick, and they have 7 picks. They have 2 4th-rounders, one from New England, and they have no 6th-rounder, but they have a 7th-rounder from the Jets in that Alex Lewis trade. And I drew up 4 positions that they could need, or that they need. Pass rush, they need a pass rush. So let's look at the edge rushers. First up, we got Terrell Lewis from Alabama. A lot of people have him going to Baltimore. He's a great pass rusher, great outside linebacker. Can get pressure on the quarterback. I could see him, especially if Judon can be there next to him and mentor him. That would be great. Terrell Lewis would be a great draft pick. Also, his partner in crime, Anthony Jennings. This is who I had the Ravens picking up in their first mock draft. You can see that. I'll probably pop the link up somewhere. But you can definitely see that in one of my older videos. But Anthony Jennings, he's a good outside linebacker. He's great. He can play everywhere. It's hard to find him. He can definitely get pressure on the quarterback. He'll get in the quarterback's face. He's good on block shedding, and he's great use of his hands. So I wouldn't mind if the Ravens picked him up. I feel that would definitely be a good value pick for the Ravens. And last but not least, we have Curtis Weaver from Boise State. He's a great outside linebacker. Had a great season at Boise State. He can get pressure on the quarterback. He has great use of his hands. He'll definitely get in the quarterback's face. He's definitely going to be in that backfield. And he's honestly, I feel he's underrated, man, because he go to Boise State. But you saw what happened last time. A linebacker from Boise State was in the draft. That was Leighton Vander Esch. Now they played 2 completely different positions. But yeah, Curtis Weaver, why not? Ravens could take a chance on him. And the Ravens are good at developing linebackers. Had Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, C.J. Mosley, Matt Judon, Zadarius Smith. Even though he had his breakout year, he's doing his thing in Green Bay, earning that contract. Yeah, Weaver had a great season this year. 32 solo tackles, 13, 13 and a half sacks, one forced fumble and an interception. So yeah, I could see the Ravens drafting him. I would. That would be a good value pick, and Ravens can definitely help develop him, especially with Judon. If we re-sign Judon and our defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, that would be a great developmental I wouldn't call him a project, but that would be a great player. I would like to see the Ravens develop, and I could also see the Ravens just picking him. All right, so as for the linebackers, another position in need is wide receiver. Um, Marquise Brown, he's good. Willie Snead, he's dependable sometimes. But that Ravens game, 7 drops. Seth Roberts and Willie Snead were the most sure-handed receivers on the team, who were like actual receivers, and they choked, not choked, but they just couldn't do it in the spotlight. So, and the Ravens need a big body type receiver, like a big body target receiver. So, here's 4 receivers I see the Ravens getting. First up is Laviska Shenault of Colorado. Now, Shenault, he's a great receiver. The best thing about him is his run after catch. Once he catches and possesses that ball, he's taking off. Like, he's shifty. He's like a Cordell Patterson. Ravens could use him in the reverses and stuff. Like him and Marquise Brown in that Ravens offense with Lamar Jackson on trick plays and stuff. That is gonna be good. That's gonna be scary. And Shenault, he's great with the jump ball, and I feel he could be a first round receiver, and I would think the Ravens would take him there, because if he's the second round, he's not going to be there. I feel he won't or be there by the time the Ravens pick in the second round, and yeah, he's a good receiver, and yeah, I see the Ravens taking him. A lot of speed, great run after catch ability, nice sense of the change of direction. So that would be a good pick for the Ravens. Another player I've been starting to hear his name more lately is Brandon Ayuk. I don't know if I said his name wrong. From Arizona State. We saw last receiver they put out N'Keal Harry. Not saying that he isn't going to be just like N'Keal Harry and nothing, but Ayuk he has a nice frame, nice big body receiver. He has great hands. He's good. He can change direction too, but he's definitely good on that deep ball and that jump ball, just jumping over defenders and catching it. And Ayuk, I feel he's a late second rounder, like second to third rounder. And the Ravens have the 28th pick, so I could definitely see the Ravens taking Ayuk with that second round pick if he's still there. Next up is Devonta Smith from Alabama. He's sort of had a breakout year. He's had some flashes of potential. And 6'1", Ravens, I can see the Ravens developing him. I can see him. He has some speed too. He has some burners on him. And if he can go and catch that deep ball, if he can jump up in the air and win those 50-50 balls, that would be great. And he could definitely be a top receiver, or he could definitely be a reliable target with his sure hands. And I feel he's like a third to fourth rounder. So Ravens could definitely take him. The Ravens could do what they did last year, where they took Marquise Brown and then Miles Boykins in the third. Maybe they take Laviska Shenault first, and then Devonta Smith in the third or fourth round. That's just me. And the last receiver I have the Ravens taking, or I feel the Ravens should look at, is Michael Pittman Jr. of USC Trojans. Pittman, he's had a good season this year, great season. He has nice hands. His hands are great. He can catch the ball. He's definitely great on the jump balls. If the Ravens had him, Lamar Jackson could throw the ball to him, and he's coming out with that 80-90% of the time. Pittman, he's a good target, great target. He's sure-handed. He has some speed to him too. Nice. He has a low change of direction. And Pittman, that would definitely help if the Ravens are not, if people play off on, if they press Marquise Brown and they have safety help over there, that could leave Pittman open. Like if he beats his man 1-on-1, So yeah, that would definitely help the Ravens out. Give Lamar a sure target, or yeah, a sturdy hand target, and that'll help the Ravens pass game out even more. All right, on to the next position of need is O line, more specifically the interior lineman. Ravens have the two franchise tackles in Ronnie Stanley and Orlando Brown. Marshall Yonder, he's about to retire soon. Like he's up there in age. The other guy, it was like Bozeman or something. He's not. He's not. No, he's not. He's not a starter. He's not a starter. And Matt Skurt, he was good. He's a free agent. Um, he's been alright, but he's like 27. Honestly, the Ravens should just rebuild the O line. They already have two young franchise tackles. Marshall Yonder's up there in age. I would just get a young O line that can develop, especially and that so that way you have your O line for a majority of the time with Lamar Jackson. And their other center was Patrick McCarry. But, I mean, he did pretty good while Skura was out, but again, he's not a starter. So some players I feel the Ravens could look at is Tyler Biadasz from Wisconsin. He's versatile. He plays center or guard. Nice sure hands, nice footwork. Now they're probably looking at me like, Kyle, you really think he's gonna be there? It's a possibility. In my last mock draft, I think I had him going to the 49ers, maybe. I can't remember. But Biadasz, he might fall just because a lot of teams I'm looking at, they don't really need guards or they're looking at tackles. Because what's the name? Left tackle is starting to be the premier line, or tackle is starting to be the premier lineman spot. More specifically, left tackle to protect most QB's blind sides, and tackle they protect them against the defensive ends. So that's the more valued pick. And there are a lot of tackles in this class too, so I feel Biadasz could definitely slip, and the Ravens should pick him up if he's there. Like I said, he's versatile. He can play center, or guard. I was about to say DN, but he can play center or guard. And he has nice hands, and that would definitely be a great pick for the Ravens in the long run. Next up, again, that center, we have Jake Hansen of the Oregon Ducks. Again, he's a nice center too. He's nice center, nice size, has his hands are good. He's definitely holds his own there, like on the line of scrimmage. He definitely does his thing, and he was a big reason on why Justin Herbert had a good season, why Herbert didn't have some protection. I feel he's the second round pick. So if Biadasz isn't there and I'm the Ravens, I'm taking Laviska Shenault, then Jake Hansen. And the other lineman, again from Oregon, Jake Hansen's teammate, is Shane Lemieux, the guard. Ravens need another guard. As of right now, they could take a guard and just worry about center later. But if they take Shane Lemieux, he can learn so much from Marshall Yonder. He's been one of the best guards in the game. He can learn a lot from him, like his discipline, not getting a lot of penalties and stuff like that. Also, like different blocking techniques, how to deal with certain guys. But Lemieux, he's a good guard, great guard. I like the way he uses his arms is nice, and he has it's like he has some power. Like he uses power in his legs, like when he comes off the line of scrimmage. And Lemieux, I feel Ravens would that would be a good pick for the Ravens to help build that O line, to help protect Lamar Jackson in the long run. So yeah, that's it for the O line. Now the last position in need is middle linebacker, and there's only two guys here: Kenneth Murray and Troy Dye. Now, if they do take Nick Kwiatkowski, they can have Kenneth Murray. He can learn from Kwiatkowski. Murray, I say he's definitely up there. He's like second, third best linebacker, middle linebacker in the draft. Isaiah Simmons is obviously first, but Murray he's great tackler. He can tackle, and his pass coverage isn't that bad. He can drop back. He'll definitely shut down that middle. He can cover the middle, and he's good at his assignments, playing zone. And Murray, I say second or third rounder. So again, I wouldn't mind if the Ravens got him. I think that would be a great value pick for the Ravens too. A great value pick and great pick on return, especially if they were to sign Nick Kwiatkowski and have Kenneth Murray, that would definitely be an upgrade, and then LJ Fort can be there for like rotational and blitzes. And the next other linebacker is Troy Dye of the Oregon Ducks. Troy Dye, a good tackler. I feel he is better in coverage than Kenneth Murray, in my opinion. Troy Dye, he had a great game in the Rose Bowl. Troy Dye, he's just a great linebacker. He's one of the three like top tier linebackers in this class. I see him as like a first to second rounder. And if the Ravens got him, that would definitely be an upgrade in our pass coverage over the middle would definitely be better. I guess if they were to sign Kwiatkowski, that would be a nice 1-2 punch and upgrade over the linebacker position. Alright, so that is it for this episode. That's it for my Ravens offseason or mock offseason. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like what moves you would make if you were the Ravens. Like who you would cut, who would you re-sign, free agents, draft, all that. Let me know what you thought of my picks. If you thought they were accurate or not, or like if you thought they were good. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, turn on post notifications. Click that bell icon in the corner. And I will talk to you guys next time.